To be honest, I'm kind of glad that this week's drops are not that hyped. Like, for those of you that don't know, like, a collab with Rap-A-Lot Records is a big deal.
We don't talk to bodies, we don't make a peace bond. We ain't trusting in the judicial system, we shoot guns. 3-9 on the streets, we do battle in the hood. I was born in the G-code, embedded in my blood.
What up, YouTube? Welcome to the Starr Life, and welcome to a video where I will be discussing the Week 7 Supreme drop list. Thankfully, J Preem blessed us this evening, aka not J Preem anymore, Drops by Jay on Twitter, blessed us with the drop list, so shout out to him. One thing that will be different about this video is I will not be like putting the live portion, like if you guys watch these videos normally, I get on Instagram Live and I discuss the drop with you and then I put that on the screen. This week I'm not going to do that because it does take a long time to render. I got some Spanish shit that I want to do, and on top of that, I don't know, I just don't feel like doing it this week. Maybe I'll do it in the future. No matter what, I am going to get on Instagram Live with you guys and discuss the drop. So if you are seeing this on Wednesday, April 5th, at like, I don't know, sometime in the morning, I don't know when I'm gonna drop it, and you are thinking to yourself, damn, I wish I would have known about this drop 12 hours earlier, then you can follow me on Instagram and join the lives. We get it popping in the lives, yo. It gets crazy in the lives. It gets live in the lives. That's like the easiest way to like keep in contact with me and just chop it up with me, and yeah, man, it gets nuts. Shit gets crazy, man. So yeah, if you want to join in or partake with that and join in on the savagery, then you can do so by following me on Instagram and joining the lives. But today, we will be discussing this drop regardless. And this drop is kind of sentimental to me, and the reason for that is because Rap-A-Lot Records is a big deal. Like, I grew up listening to a lot of this music. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to know anything I don't know. There are a couple things that I'm somewhat curious about, and you guys can let me know in the comments. I'll ask you guys because I don't feel like researching it, and I'm not gonna bullshit you guys and act like I know fucking everything about Rap-A-Lot Records. I grew up on West Coast hip-hop, but I did grow up on some southern shit every once in a while that would bleed into my CD player. You know, I grew up listening to Bun B, Ghetto Boys, Scarface, which is a former member of Ghetto Boys. Anyways, speaking of Scarface, man, it would have been so fucking dope if they did a t-shirt with the Diary album cover on it. If you look at these t-shirts, right, we have the Ghetto Boys We Can't Be Stopped album cover on one of these t-shirts. That's a must cop for me. We also have it on the hoodie. Also a must cop for me. I want the t-shirt and the hoodie. I don't know what I'm gonna go for first. There are a couple other tees dropping. If you look at this black Rap-A-Lot Records t-shirt, I'm not gonna cop that. We have this like fuchsia or pink tee, and I don't know what that graphic is from. I don't know what that has to do with Rap-A-Lot Records, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend, but I'm definitely gonna go for it regardless to have. We also have this like pastel green one, and once again, I don't know what this has to do with Rap-A-Lot Records. I know where the graphic is from. The graphic is from a painting called The Scream, which was painted by Edvard Munch. Fun fact, actually, a long time ago, I don't know where I got this impression, but like years ago, I used to think that was painted by Picasso. We have this yellow tee, which is so fucking small, I can't even see what that graphic is. And then we have this dope ass nun tee that says Supreme, and it's got this like nun with like multiple faces on it. That's a long sleeve. I do wish it was a short sleeve. That would be a way harder cop if it was a short sleeve, but regardless, still a super dope piece. Then we have the pillow. The pillow I'm not gonna cop, and the reason I'm not gonna cop the pillow is because, to be honest, like this pillow, just having a pillow looks kind of corny to me. When I was in the military, whenever we would deploy, they were offered like a free service, right? Where you could get your face or your family portrait printed on this pillow. And the reason for that was because, say a father deploys, they can give their daughter this pillow with their face on it, you know? Or like their face in uniform, just all proper. And then their daughter can sleep with their father every night while he's away overseas serving, or mother overseas serving. Equality is crucial. But regardless, you get your parent or whatever on there, so you know your parent's like tucking you in every night, and that's what this reminds me of. So I'm definitely not gonna do that or get that piece. They got the beanies, they got the hats. I'm not copping the beanies or the hats. It's Beanie Boys all day, but those beanies do not look like this beanie, and I don't really like any other beanies. Oh, did I mention the satin bombers? I don't think I mentioned the satin bombers. I'm not copping the satin bombers. For those of you that don't know about Rap-A-Lot Records, like one of my favorite West Coast artists as a kid, and not anymore, but when I was a kid I just used to really like Yuck Mouth. But even Yuck Mouth has his shit distributed through Rap-A-Lot Records. Rap-A-Lot Records has released stuff from Do or Die, Ghetto Boys, Scarface, which like I said is a former member of Ghetto Boys. I've listened to a lot more Scarface than I have Ghetto Boys. I grew up listening to shit like Bun B. I fucking loved Bun B when I was a kid, a teenager, and an adult. Like, even now, I still love Bun B. Like, I'll always respect what he's done. He's a fucking legend. I never grew up listening to Zero. I really didn't even listen to Zero until I went to Afghanistan, and my homie, Curtis Heath, who's a Third Coast representative, he's like a big fan of Zero. Like, all he listened to while we were overseas was Zero. He always would try to put me on to Zero, and I do fuck with Zero. He's a great rapper. I feel like I've said Zero 73 times. But yeah, I never grew up listening to him. He's super known in the South. If you're from the South, you probably know about him. But no matter where you're from, you've probably heard of Scarface, Ghetto Boys, or at the very least, Bun B. Oh, and you've probably heard of Do or Die. And I don't know if you've listened to Yuck. If you're from the West Coast, I'm sure you've heard of Yuck Mouth as well. Yuck Mouth is on a label with Drew Down.
We play the game for keeps, and if you slept, I guess you sleep. You shouting up fucking, now your ass is 6 feet deep. Cause where I come from, yo, everybody's got a cat.
So, getting into the actual pieces, we have the like Supreme Stripe crew neck. I don't remember what this crew neck was called or whatever, but it looks like it just has a stripe going across the chest, and it looks like it says Supreme near the breastises. Next, we have some hoodies. It looks like we have, I think that's like the Warp logo. It says Supreme. It's kind of like in that DuPont logo font looking thing. They have this like weird like mustard vomit color that's disgusting. But other than that, all the colors look to be pretty decent. Next up, we have this like Supreme hoodie that has like a stripe, and then it's got like a box that says Supreme. I like almost I like every fucking color. I mean, I'm really hoping to get the pink one, maybe then the red one, then the black one. Then we have two other pieces that I'm not stoked on. We have the like studded leather, or no, not studded leather, sorry, studded denim jacket. I don't like that piece at all. I know some people are gonna disagree with me. When I did the SS17 preview, I said that I think that thing is fucking ugly, and some people were like, oh, that's so fucking dope, what are you talking about? And it's like, bro, like, you can find shit like that in the thrifts all the time. Then you have this like, what I don't know, it's like a mechanic work jacket. You have the American flag embroidered on there. It's like a little American flag patch with these stripes going down with like some fur around the collar. It basically, like, random fact, right? Before I knew my dad was my dad, long personal story, he used to take me to this junkyard, right? And I just thought he was like a family friend. And his brother owned this junkyard. This jacket is what I could picture them wearing at this junkyard. These people were not fly, so I don't know why it's cool to wear that. I don't know. It's just not for me though. At the end of the day, wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. Don't not wear shit because I don't think it's cool. Because I'm not fucking anybody. Fuck me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Fuck my opinion. Sticking with the mechanic theme, we have this, and yeah, that's a pass. We also have these Supreme polos. These look like kind of like either like a towel or velour almost. They're pretty fucking shiny.
Look at that. That's nice and shiny.
But yeah, that's gonna be a pass as well. I'm not really too into those polos. The super hardcore long sleeve. When I did the SS17 preview, I was so like in the zone of like resale that I was like, I'm gonna cop this, I'm gonna cop this, I'm gonna cop that. Realistically, I'm probably not gonna cop that. I might, depending on, I don't know, it's probably gonna be the last piece I go for. So by the time I go for it, it's probably gonna be sold out. Then we have these jerseys. These jerseys are low-key kind of fire. They're super dope hockey jerseys. They're all like kind of in colorways of actual hockey teams. Sticking with the tops, we have these knitted sweaters. They're like two-tone sweaters. They got like a white top and then some kind of color on the bottom. I'm gonna pass on all of those. Speaking of the two-tone, we got some two-tone pants. I kind of like this like sherbet ice cream fucking colorway they got going on. The pink with the khaki, that's kind of fire. I'm not gonna cop any of them, but I just think that's kind of dope, like how it's like half pink and half khaki. I don't know how you pull that off. That'd be like a crazy fucking fit, but if you can pull it off, go for it. Then we have these, and these look like they're track pants, which is kind of weird because it looks like there's desert camo track pants. Like, those low-key look kind of fire. It looks like they got some branding around the ankle. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cop them. I probably won't, but we will see. I might change my mind on that one. That might be a cop. Now onto the hats. Neither of these are cops. I'm not a big fan of either of these, especially the bottom one. We also have this Supreme flask. Now that is definitely something I want to cop. And then we have the Go Fuck Yourself graphic keychain. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm gonna go for that or not. We will see if I go for that. I'm kind of indifferent, to be honest, but maybe. But yeah, that's the whole drop. Now, to discuss why this is like a big deal to me, I don't know, man, like, I grew up on listening to a lot of this music because when I was younger, I used to want to be a lot like my uncles and my brother, and the fact is I'm not like them. My uncles and my brother and a lot of my family members, like, they're criminals. But when you're a kid and you grow up in that environment, you look up to those individuals, and the reason is because they were so tough. You know, like my Uncle Desi, I'm not close to him at all, but just he always had this really tough demeanor. I mean, I remember he put me on Mr. Pookie back in the day. He was like a Dallas, Texas artist, and like anything he put me on I thought was so dope. I remember like rolling in like his old lowriders and listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony, and like on the inside I've always been like this white nerdy kid. Like that's how I've always felt on the inside. I've always been interested in like weird things, but I grew up in an environment where I was really poor, and I looked up to my uncles because in my opinion, like, they grew up in the same environment, which is it can be pretty harsh sometimes, and they were so tough, and it's like it never fazed them. I don't know, man. They always looked out for me when I was growing up, and so any music they listened to, I obviously vibed with. I grew up listening to hip-hop, and I mean, since I was a kid, you know, my first CD ever was Bone Thugs and Harmony, Look Into My Eyes. It was a single CD. My brother gave it to me. Before that, I just listened to all my brother's CDs. And he had a lot of these CDs, you know, like he had the Diary CD. Like that's like why I grew up listening to that. You know, I remember I was like 5 and 6 years old listening to Scarface. Like that shit was just so monumental for me as a kid. And yeah, man, I don't know. I'm kind of stoked on this collab, honestly. In fact, when we get on live, we're gonna have a little listening session and go back and listen to some of this music. Cause yeah, man, I don't know. It's just fucking dope. Hopefully none of you guys go for any of this shit because I want it all to myself. But it's not like the North Face collab, so I'm not gonna curse you guys. If you guys want something, then hopefully you guys are able to acquire it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop this video. I don't know how long this is. I feel like I did a little bit of personal ranting, but hopefully you guys got to know me a little bit better. Let me know what you guys feel, or how you feel, how you think about this collab, and just the overall drop in general. I think this is a pretty good drop, but to be honest, I would say that this is one of the weaker drops overall, in my opinion. Obviously, I have some kind of personal bias because of the collab with Rap-A-Lot Records, but overall, I will say that, like, from an unbiased perspective, this is one of the weaker weeks, like I said earlier. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. Like I said, if you want to join in on these live chats and you want to see the drops early, make sure you go follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @thestarlife. That has been somewhere on the screen this entire motherfucking video, and it is still on the screen right fucking now. And my Twitter is the exact same thing, so go follow that as well. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like I already said, as always, keep living the Starr life. And make sure you appreciate the music on the intro and the outro of this video. Just take some time and listen to it.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangsta ass nigga plays his cards right. A real gangsta ass nigga never runs his fucking mouth, cause real gangsta ass niggas don't start fights.